Very good morning, students. You are welcome to online classes of Oriental Public School. This is Pankaj Kumar Misra, Faculty of Social Science. Today, I am here with a video of Class 10 History, first lesson, and your topic is Nationalism in Europe. And this is very important topic of history syllabus of class 10 in point of exam. And before going to start this chapter, Nationalism in Europe, I would like to throw an overview on the timeline of this chapter. By going through the timeline, you will be knowing about the different dates and event that is associated and related to this chapter, which will clarify the concept regarding the events that is related to this chapter. As you can see on your screen, the first date related to this chapter is the French Revolution, as you know, which was happened in the year 1789 AD, and we can call the period the start of the rise of nationalism in Europe 1789 to 1804, and this was the first country of the Europe from where the nationalism started. The next one is the curious case of Britain, and in this point you are going to read about 1801. Because this chapter will containing the information of 1801 related to Britain, that's why it is written over here. So behind 1688, the English Parliament seized power from the monarchy. 1707, the Act of Union. This is very important point. Act of Union was passed on 1707 between England and Scotland, that resulted in the formation of United Kingdom of Great Britain. As you know, the United Kingdom of Great Britain was formed with the Act of Union, and this union was formed with the help of England and Scotland. 1798, a failed revolt led by Wolfton and his United Irishmen. You can say in 1798, a revolution was led by Wolfton and his United Irishmen, but this was failed. Now, as it is mentioned above, 1801. In 1801, Ireland forcibly incorporated into the United Kingdom. So these are few events related to this chapter. Moving to the further point. Now your point is Siberian Revolution. Siberian Revolution against the Ottoman Empire. And in this point you are going to cover the events of 1804 to 1815. Also around this time, the Napoleonic Code and the Battle of Waterloo leading to the fall of Napoleon. As you know, 1804, this period is known as the Napoleonic Code period, and 1815 is known as the falling year of Napoleon as Battle of Waterloo. This was the last battle of Napoleonic life, and after this battle, the end of Napoleon. As we know, Waterloo was the last battle in which Napoleon Bonaparte was defeated and sent to the St. Helena jail. The next point is Giuseppe Garibaldi, and this is very eminent character of this chapter, and the date associated with this personality is 1807. 1807 to 1882, part of Mazzini's. As you know, Giuseppe Mazzini was an Italian revolutionary who formed two sacred society, Young Italy and Young Europe. Being in the exile, the Garibaldi led the famous expedition, thousands to the South Italy, lead an army of volunteers to fight the last obstacle to the unification of Italy. While unification of Italy was going on, the last obstacle was means eradicated by Giuseppe Garibaldi, and finally it was unification of Italy done. Now one more character is the Grimm brothers. 1812 they published their first collection of tales, and this was the story of means fairy tales, which helps to the bringing of cultural movement by this you can say the stories. Now the very important point, that is the Congress of Vienna, which was held in 1815 after the defeat of Napoleon Bonaparte in the Battle of Waterloo. The European country met together to decide how to re-establish the monarchical system wherever it was overthrown, especially in the France, where Napoleon Bonaparte overthrew the Bourbon dynasty and occupied the country and started dictatorship there. Then after the defeat of 1815 Waterloo War, once again these countries decided to re-establish the monarchical system. So now the objective of the Congress was to provide a long-term peace plan for Europe by setting critical issues arising from the French Revolution. As you know, by the French Revolution, it was arisen that the monarchy should be overthrown, and wars and Napoleonic wars started. The goal was not simply to restore old boundaries but to realize the manpower so they could balance each other off and remain at peace. They were trying to remain at peace, and this can be only happen after the Treaty of Congress Vienna. And so many objectives were of this treaty, and we are going to discuss this point in detail in the containing of this chapter. And this is the timeline, so we will not go here in detail. Only we will know the events and date related to it. Now, Greek War of Independence against the Ottoman Empire, and this happened 1821 to 1829, and the period Belgian Revolution, which was happened in 1830, and this period is known 1830 to 31. Also around this time, revolution in Poland and Lithuania also happened. While revolution was going on in Belgium, and similarly in that particular period it was also happening in the Poland and Lithuania, which is the neighboring countries. These all are the countries of Europe. Now, Treaty of Constantinople, that was happened in 1832, recognized Greek as an independent nation. By this treaty, Greek was declared as the independent nation. Now the term is about Giuseppe Mazzini, 1833, founding the Young Europe in Bern. There is also the story of Silesia, to Silesia, and the date related to this event is 1845. The weavers in Silesia lead a revolt against contractors. Now uprising in the Great Poland, that was happened 1846. The revolution of the liberals in France, which was started in 1848. As you know, Louis Philippe forced to flee, and also around this time nationalist revolts in Hungary, Italy and Germany, including Polish revolt in Great Poland was happening. The German middle class tried to unite the different regions of the German Confederation into a nation state government by elected parliament. These every incidents are related to 1848, which was the revolution of liberals in France. Now the term is Italy unified, and which period is 1859 to 1861. Polish national revolt. Uprising in the Great Poland 1846. I hope you have understood up to here. Unification of Germany. This was started in 1866 and continued to 1871 by the Ottoman Bismarck. As you know, Ottoman Bismarck is also called the architect of Germany. Hungarians given more autonomy. 1867. The Habsburg ruler granted more autonomy to the Hungarians. And the case of Balkan area 1871, the most serious source of nationalist tension in Europe was the Slav area called Balkan. The people living in the Balkans were called as Slav. The Slav nationalism started in 1905. The Slav nationalists gathers force in the Habsburg and Ottoman Empire also around this time. Norway becomes fully independent from United Kingdom of Sweden and Norway. I hope you have understood up to here. Very soon I will come in the next video and start this chapter. So study properly, be safe. Thank you. Have a nice day.